I wanted to say I've always been a strong person, but that is it, right? But let me tell you something. We all cry. So you can't change anyone. I detox through shedding tears. That remains a secret. The trade secret. Okay, I'll forgive you this. Forgive them, but move on. Listen to your intuition. That still small voice that speaks to you is always right.
Guys, welcome to another beautiful episode of Billionaire Habit Podcast with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. And today, of course, we're having another edition of the Dubai Burj Khalifa episodes. And I have a very amazing PR, media, communication, event planner. I mean, the whole 9-yard guest. Her name is Yetunde Oduwoye or Adewale.
Oh my God, I'm going to find you.
Yes.
The name is Yetunde Oduwoye.
Oduwoye, yes, that's true. Forgive me. But oftentimes call Yetunde Boss Line.
Boss Line, yes.
Right? And so let's get started. This particular Yetunde Boss Line we're seeing, is this the person that has always existed? Or you evolve into this, amazing PR person?
That's a very good question. I started this boss line thing at the age of 18.
Really?
It started as a newspaper column.
Okay.
My editor way back when I was schooling in Jos, Nigeria, asked me to write a column.
Okay.
And when I was brainstorming, I put a lot of names down. Lipstick, that. So he arrived at boss line. Okay, I put boss line down too because it was supposed to be.
Why the word boss line?
It was supposed to be a feminine column.
Okay.
So I had to go the way of,
Yes.
So he agreed with boss line, and I started writing it. Boss line started as a lifestyle, not putting your tongue in cheek kind of column, and I wrote freely about sex, even at that age.
At 18.
Yes, I was an adult. 18. I was an adult.
You were wild too early.
So I was writing all these things. So I could say that I evolved through the years.
Was it that you studied mass communication?
No. I did accountancy.
Wow. So, and you were writing?
I did accountancy, though I changed along the way. But
Okay.
that was what my parents wanted me to do.
Oh.
And I did it. And
Good.
I changed along the way.
Wow.
And I've always wanted to be in the industry, in the print media, in the, all types of media. And my dreams came to pass because I became a proofreader. I became a publisher, a columnist. And, I climbed the ladder. When people ask me today that, where do you get your connections from? I'll be like, I grew in the industry. So I know practically everybody in the industry. So I've evolved ever since then.
Interesting. How did you manage to stay young mentally? I'm not even talking physically now, but mentally, because it's obvious that, the event you guys did in our office in Nigeria, virtually all the big brothers, a lot of young guys were around. It was, if I remember when I entered the room, I said, what's good? It's like a party happening here. You've always had to relate with people who are like almost the age mate of your son. How did you manage to stay that mentally young?
That's a big question, which I do not really have a particular answer for.
Yeah.
But I think I have this usefulness about me, probably because I was born abroad. So I come from a family where we don't address each other as brother, like auntie,
mom,
brother, like the Yoruba people do.
Yeah.
I am from a Yoruba family, but we don't do that.
Yeah.
So we call each other by our names, our first names, So maybe that's the background for that, for that usefulness kind of thing. And that made me appealing to people, that they don't have to, like, even the younger ones don't have to come to me with respect and say, oh, auntie, this and that. So that boss line name helps.
Okay.
because people come and say, "Oh, bus line, bus
Yeah.
line, bus line,"
Yeah.
and some people who go further, they always say auntie bus line. I'll be like, no, 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 don't call me auntie. Just
Yeah.
call me that bus line.
Yeah.
It's simple for you that way. You could, come to me, relate with me, and I think that's what's attractive about it. The fact that they can come to me without all those respect attached.
Where did the relation you a lot of big brothers, participant of Big Brother come from?
It's a social media world, and I believe I'm visible on social media, and I support them a lot, especially when it comes to them going into the house. I pick my best, and over the years, the best I've picked, I've always won.
Really?
Yeah, so even other participants that are not really in my, that are not really close to me, they tend to be closer to me because they reckon there's this magic about us, like like when she votes or when she solicits for votes, that they always win. So that was
How
the
that
foundation
happened.
of that.
So I noticed that you've over the years built relationship with a lot of wealthy people as well. How did that happen?
Naturally. Naturally. I am a very outgoing person and my work speaks for me. Like when people have seen that you have a pedigree and you've grown in the industry and you are someone they could reckon with their businesses, with everything, and they tend to come towards you. And because I grew in the industry, like I said earlier, and
How
they
many
know
years in the
they
industry?
know. Don't let us go there. All I know is I entered the industry at the age of 17.
Wow.
And I started getting published as a columnist at the age of 18. So
that's 30 something
naturally,
years.
exactly, naturally, I have bosses who have become very big guys too. And, they tend to introduce me to people as well. And by and by, my connection grew from there.
Interested. Ladies and gentlemen, so I'm still with the one and only Yetunde Boss Line. She, by the way, she helps our company as well with a couple of PR work.
Yes, I do.
And our award organization gave us 2 awards. Do we even have it here? I think it's in the office. Okay.
Well deserving.
And thank you for that. So she just finished 12th edition of our award here in Dubai, and it was a fantastic. I look at how you were able to plan an award. Practically 2 days. You landed 2 days, and it was really successful. How do you do that?
That remains a secret. The trade secret. Jokes apart, when you have experience in any industry that you are, you tend not to be there physically to get things done. Okay, you have people who work for you remotely, and thank God for social media, thank God for technology. You'll be able to monitor, do Zoom meetings. You don't have to be there. You could even land on the day of your event. So I think that was what helped me.
Amazing. So let's go to your family life, right? I don't know how much of that you want to talk about. How many kids do you have?
I've got 2 beautiful boys.
Wow. How do you manage to raise boys when you're an outgoing party, PR, nightclub mom?
Point of correction. I am not outgoing PR party. No. Boss Line is different from Yetunde. Okay. Yetunde is quite the mom, the mother hen. Like everybody knows that I take care of my home front, my children. I don't joke with them. And there have been years that I've been grounded when they were growing up. I wasn't able to do anything. The things that I do now, I wasn't doing them then. I was raising them. And I'm glad that they have become good citizens of the United Kingdom and the world because they've never recorded any crime before. And that's what I said in my book as well. If you've read my book, you be able to get the foundation of what I'm talking about here. Like I raised them by myself, but because I was brought up by very how do I call them now? Disciplinarians, you know.
So you were one
So
as well.
there's no how I was slack as a as a mom.
Yeah.
You know, I was the mom, I was the father.
Yeah.
You know, so I was able to raise them. I was able to be there for them, which is most important. Because I always tell people that what you want your children to be, you have to lay the foundation.
Absolutely.
And you can't lay the foundation remotely. You have to be there for them. So those years, I see them, well, let me not call them grounded years. I see them as the years that I've sacrificed to the growth of my children. And they have become blessings for me today because I was there for them doing school runs and I never left them. So yeah, that works.
So what you're saying now is that there's a side of you that is mom, disciplinarian, and also had to sacrifice. And there's a version of you now that is more out there since they are grown and they're adults themselves. And you can be a lot more of yourself now. Okay, interesting. Fair enough. fair enough. But in those days, how were you able to handle finances? Because a lot of times you see single mom, reach out and say, hey, I'm a single mom, I'm struggling. How were you able to handle finances in those early years?
Yeah, it was a struggle. That's why the fact that I live abroad. I live in the United Kingdom, but then it's a blessing as well because there were so many support available for me.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things, because I used to have a caseworker that used to like guide me, and when I newly became a single mother, because I had no experience and I had these kids with me, I didn't know what to do with them, and she actually advised me that forget all the degrees that you have, like start afresh. And you wouldn't believe it that I started from college level.
Wow.
From college level to the uni.
Wow. Again. In the UK.
Just for me to like have probably meet new people and have a different orientation and clear my head, most importantly, because I went through a lot of depression. And I was able to sail through because I went back to school. I started I started afresh rather, and it worked for me.
What will you say is the biggest challenge single mothers face, and how can the world generally support single mothers? You have your latest book on that, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So what's the biggest challenge, and how can the world support single mothers?
I think the world generally, don't let it be an African thing now. They profile single mothers. Wrong profiling. It abounds everywhere in the world. I think that has to change because they reckon you're a single mother. What do you have to offer?
You must have done something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And when they tell me that, because I've had series of workshops with my book, I've gone around cities and seeking opinions and tackling problems of single mothers. And they in Africa and even the entire world, when you want to like rent a place, they will need a man to back you, especially in Nigeria. I've had the experience. Like when you want to rent any accommodation, you've got to have a man.
I was shocked when that happened. I was and this is a true story. I was in Dubai and my wife needed to get an accommodation some years ago. And the owner insisted that he had to talk to me. I was shocked, like,
you see, those kind of
profiling
is unfair.
Yeah.
Because if you look at majority...
But could it be that he's just simply concerned that she might not be able to pay the rent if she were to be a single mom?
But why would you think a woman wouldn't be a woman that is working and the only thing missing is a man? A woman that's working and, getting
Maybe he's
paid.
had experiences and then, people come back and say, well, I'm a single mom.
The world has changed. And I always tell single mothers that, have something you're doing. Never depend on any man.
And exactly.
Because what brought depression to me is different. It's not financial. Yeah. Because I had things I was doing.
Yeah.
Okay. But majority of single mothers out there, they do not have anything. They depend on their husbands. And when that one goes now, it becomes a problem. And they start to say, oh, I don't have anything I'm doing, this man has gone. And no, you have to have something, get a life.
Yeah.
Every single mother should get a life.
I think every woman.
Every
every
woman.
Even if you're married, I always tell my wife this, have your own life outside your husband.
Exactly, because it's not even fair for us to put all the load on the men.
Yeah.
It's not fair. They are human beings too.
Yeah.
So when it now switches the other way and it's now the man that is a single
Man,
single father,
dad,
single dad, and people tend to be like, oh, you have to be strong, you are a man. They have emotions as well.
True. And it's tough as well.
It's tough for men more than women.
Yeah.
Women have opportunities more than men.
Yeah.
So it's high time that we sit right and get all these things right. But basically, I just want to implore all women, like you said, generally, no matter who you are, married or single, get something you're doing at every point in time. Because who knows, the person you depend on might just pass away. So what becomes of you?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's that's what I've been trying to, rub in.
How did you overcome? Because what I've noticed is that when people's marriage break up, there's a tendency to blame the woman more, right? Almost like it's your fault.
Exactly.
It was you that got it wrong. What were you able to do to overcome that stereotype or stigmatization and live your own life?
I wanted to say I've always been a strong person, but that is a lie.
Thank you for your honesty.
No one.
Because something happened recently and I was like, Yetunde boss are crying? What's going on?
I am a regular crier. That's my way of detoxifying. I detox through shedding tears. So no one has strength inbuilt. I've never seen anyone, even the strongest people today, they were not born with strength like that. Along the journey of life, you tend to start building your strength. Okay, it's not like, oh, you were born with strength or you have it inbuilt somewhere. No, you start building it. And that was what happened to me. There was a time I was totally scattered. Wow. I didn't know what I was doing. I almost wanted to kill myself, because it became terrible. I had 2 kids with me. I couldn't do nothing. And I couldn't move on with my life. And I'm a very secretive kind of person. When my family come around, I pretend that all is well. Even when I was having domestic violence issues with my ex-husband, when my family come around, I always pretend that, nothing is happening.
But why do you think women find themselves having to pretend? Because yours was even a marriage. I mean, a story broke out, Empress in Jama, yesterday or so, where we all were like, oh, out of market, only to realize it was the fiancé who posted it and had been blackmailing her, and she said she couldn't tell her family. They were not even married.
I know.
And it was in her own house. I mean,
exactly.
It sounded so
weird. As in, I don't know.
Why do you people find yourself in those situations?
And it's the strongest of all women that fall victim.
Exactly.
Are fall victim, because once you have carved this image of yourself as a very strong person, people tend to see you like that. And when all these lowly things happen to you, they'll be like, what? Why would this happen to this person? Yeah. But let me tell you something. We all cry. The strongest women are the weakest in the heart, in matters of the heart, So I'm just saying that, what? Let people be themselves. Don't judge them. Okay, people are going through a lot. So if they come on the social media and start to dance and start to pretend all is okay, leave them, let them be, because you never know what they are going through.
Yeah, that may even be their own therapy to cope.
I am telling you, when you see me, let me give you something now. When you see me posting too much, just know that I'm not happy.
Wow.
When I post too much, post this, post that.
Wow.
When I now, go silent, know that I'm getting happiness somewhere. And I can't be bothered about my social media life.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What? So posting therapy.
Exactly. It does something to me. Like
Yeah.
it is like a therapy to
Yeah.
me when I'm not when I'm in my lowliest if there's a word like that moods. I go on social media and I start posting. I start going to my archives on my phone and old videos and photos. I start posting them, you know, and that is just to tell you that I'm talking about me now, not everybody. Let's tell you that I am not happy. But when you see me go on sabbatical on social media and I don't come there, know that Boss Line is enjoying
How
somewhere.
do you know, if you look back and you're talking to a 26-year-old you, 22-year-old you, 23-year-old you, how will you tell yourself what are the signs to watch out for in somebody who has a tendency to be abusive, you know, to be violent? What are the signs for women to look out for?
I just had a flashback now. You know, women are very intuitive. Like, follow your intuition all the time. When you see a man, it's a gift. When you see a man, a wrong man, you would know. But most women will be like, oh, I can mold him, I
Yeah,
can
I can
carve him, I
change
can
him.
change him. It's wrong. You cannot. You can't change anyone. Okay. So I saw signs, to be honest, when I was going into my marriage. You know, it was abusive. I remember there was a time that he poured a pot of soup on me. And, you know, and people were like, why didn't you run? That was a sign. That was the red flag, you know. But because I am an African woman, okay. So, and people like my mom patched her marriage, okay. So why wouldn't I like patch my one as well? So I tended to like overlook all of that and say, okay, maybe this man is going to change. But he never changed. He grew from that to worse. And, you know, so what I'll advise every young person going into marriage is listen to your intuition. That still small voice that speaks to you is always right. Okay. So even, I don't know about men, because some men have told me in the past that, you know, they get that intuition too. But I think it's a woman thing. Women tend to get that a lot. So listen to it so that you don't make mistakes. Once a man raises his hand to hit you, it wouldn't stop.
Yeah, it won't. It's like an addiction.
It is. And these are the men that will keep rolling on the ground after they've done it and crying.
I hear that as well. Like, and I think this is probably why they're able to attract powerful women, because the fact that a whole man will go on his knees and say, I'm sorry, I will be crying.
I'm telling
I know
you,
you'll be
I've
like,
gone
no,
through, oh
he
my
loves
goodness.
me.
Oh,
He loves me.
Exactly. It's emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
The most evil one ever.
Wow.
You know, because they tend to like get the woman at their beck and call.
Yeah.
You know, because after they've done all these things, they'll be like, oh, it's the devil that pushed me to do it. Oh, please. Start rolling. And when you see a man like he's rolling
like
on the ground
a
and
powerful
crying,
man,
and you'll be like, oh God, okay, I'll forgive you this time. And next time will happen, and another time will happen. My dear sisters, know that this is your red flag. Don't forgive them, but move on.
Don't go back.
Forgive, but don't go back. Don't go back. If you want yourself to be happy, except, well, nobody likes not to be happy. Okay. But, you know, that is the red flag. Just move out.
What will you say is the one secret that has helped you to raise two boys successfully well? No criminal record. And it's difficult to have that in the UK where they're stabbing each other. What do you think is that secret, that habits that helped you to raise great children?
I believe it's God. It's the grace of God. Because I don't have it all. You know, it's the grace of God. And when you combine the grace of God with a bit of discipline, it works for you. Okay, like I said earlier, I come from a very disciplined background. and I tend to imbibe that in them. And I'll tell you something, up to today, what I told my kids as, I think when my first one was 6 and the other one was 4, like I always tell them that you know what, don't open doors for strangers. Like when they press the buzzer, come and tell me. Do you know they still do it?
Wow.
They still do it.
At
My
25.
my first one is going to be 25.
Wow.
When anybody presses the buzzer,
Yeah.
they still come to me. Can I open? So this thing is not magic.
Yeah.
Okay, it's what you feed them with,
Yeah.
right from when they were small. That's what they will grow up with. I think that's my strongest point.
Yeah.
You know.
So you've met a lot of wealthy people in your job of being PR, media. What will be the billionaire habits? You've met a lot of billionaires. What will be the, give us 3 habits you notice about them?
They don't like people encroaching on them.
Number 1, respect their privacy.
Respect their privacy.
Oh boy, that's big. I can block for Africa, right? If anybody tells you I block them, that's true. It's just accept it. I can very true.
And don't be putting all your problems on the desk.
Yeah.
Don't ask them, oh,
Yeah.
my mom died somewhere. I have,
Come and help me.
No. As soon as if you're lucky enough to have a relationship with any one of them, as soon as they get to know you, they will know your problems naturally.
Yes.
You don't have to tell them.
Yeah.
And they will even respect you more and
That's
say, oh, so you have all these problems and you've not said it?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't go there. Don't say, oh, as soon as I meet someone, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to tell them all the problems in my life. No, they tend
And
to
let
run
me
away.
hope they will help me. They will give me money.
Yeah. And you said the third one.
Yes.
What's the third one now? If you're lucky enough to meet a rich person, okay, I don't think you should flaunt it too much. Because there are a whole lot of them, except if they don't mind, because there are some that do not mind being flaunted but respect them. Don't flaunt it too much. Don't say you know this person or you know that person. I'll tell you what, there's a particular person that I know that I was doing damage control for at some point. And well, it was between me and the blogger. Okay. And the blogger was amazed that, oh, so you're the one that manages this person's PR. And you never said it for once.
Wow.
I said, why would I? This is my business. This is the client. So I wouldn't do that.
What's the secret of PR specialists who are able to deal with high net worth people? Is there because some other PR are all my clients are poor, small businesses. I want to handle big, clientele. What do you think is that thing they should do?
You mean when people are growing in business?
Yes, for a young PR professional rising, how do they attract big clients?
I think you should just be steady on your job. I think your good works will speak for you at some point. Okay, because it's for me now, it's my good work that speaks for me. Like when imagine I'm doing PR for someone that I'm not even flaunting. And what makes you think that person won't recommend me to
many other? That's true. That's true.
So if this
it was one of your clients that recommended you
exactly,
to us.
Exactly. So that is what I live by, like recommendations. And I think when you continue and you're persistent, do your work, and thank God we came from the world of the non-social media world. Like we came from that word into the social media. So we did a tough one. Okay. So we were not seen, we were not heard, and we still managed to climb. So but now
it's a lot easier.
easier. People tend to see anything that you sell, just tag people, they will see it. The other day I tagged the Prince of Dubai. I was like, oh, I came to your country to do an event, so let me tag you. And I'm sure you saw it. So it's easy these days. It's easier than what we used to have. So make use of your social media. Make use of it. If you want to be a billionaire like Dr. Steve. be known, be
Yeah.
seen, let
Yeah.
your voice be heard, and always, show people what you have. And the sky's the starting point.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've been having a fantastic conversation with one and only Yetunde Oduwoye. She says she hates video interviews, but she's done so well. I mean, it's just been a fantastic one. So I have my crew ask their questions.
Uh-oh.
And then, of
Okay,
course, Boss Line will also ask me any questions she wants to ask.
This is a hot seat.
How do you do your networking? How do you connect with high net worth people? What are strategies?
Through my clients, my existing clients.
Yeah.
Okay, they are part of my growth, a huge part of my growth, because they've seen my good work and they always recommend me to people. And I think I am visible as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're visible and people know what you're doing and there are records to prove, like someone was asking me that, okay, you've done this event that you do in 12 countries of the world. So where are the records? Okay, and I showed them with receipts the records,
Yeah.
And anytime that I put all my events on social media, that's always one or two people, even if it's one or two people, that always say, oh, this is true, I was there. Oh, this is what she does. If you can get stamps from people, it's very important as well, because you can't just be there working for years and claim to have done something like huge for 30 years and you don't have anything to show for it. These days we live in is a visual, they call it, or virtual. Okay, we live in a world that people see things. To seeing is believing to them. So that's what you should do. Show them what you do. Show them what you've got.
I also think that being loyal, I can testify that I think Yetunde is very loyal to our clients. I mean, she was here. She was already mentioned one of our clients that we should two of our clients that we should interview. Like that genuine loyalty to your client, to want to push them out there, to want to look for opportunities for your clients. I think is a big one, because they will know, and that seed you sown will also make them to just also be talking to you and recommending you to other people the same way you've been doing.
Exactly. If that is what I know how to do well, that is one of things I know how to do well. I know how to pull my client forward, and I'll have some appraisals for you.
Okay.
No question. I've watched you. We became friends like a couple of months ago.
Funny enough, we've done so much together.
We've done so much together. So I want to praise you for all that you do. You've done so well. I admire you.
Thank you.
And I told you the other day that, oh my God, I wish I could have the gift of the gab that you have. I wish I could talk like you talk.
But you do well.
Do I?
I believe. I mean, guys, you probably would have thought the interview would be boring, and the way she was saying that, oh, I'm not prepared, I don't like TV, but you've done so well.
So I admire you. You have the right words at the right time, and you fit into your, there are some people that do not fit into what they do. You fit like a glove, and I must commend you. And for all these young people that you carry along, kudos to you as well. I know you're a good employer of labor, and you've changed lives in the course of it. Thank you so much for helping the world, and I appreciate you always.
Thank you for being you as well. You're a fantastic human being.
Thank you.
I mean, it's one of the things I admire about Yetunde Oduwoye is that you can be so free around her. She has that gift of, just being herself and creating that amazing. You can meet Yetunde today, and you are like best pal today. Thank you for being you. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.
Done. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So, guys, a wrap. Another beautiful episode of the Billionaire Habits, and I've had the one and only PR specialist Yetunde Oduwoye. See you next time. Bye bye.